Okay, so what's the behavior that we're seeing?
Каков тип на унесување ментално видов?
What's the antecedent?
Која е причината? Претходно.
Or what's the behavior? What's the behavior? Yes, she's throwing things. Yes. Yep. Yep. Okay. Clear and easy. Okay. That's where it starts with her too. Once it keeps going with her, she can get very upset, kick everything around, throw it all around the floor. Okay. So that's the observable behavior. We don't know how she feels necessarily. We can hypothesize, but she's throwing items. That's observable, measurable behavior. We can count it. We can measure how long it happens. Okay, so what was the antecedent? What happened before? The father's attention was diverted. He walked away. Okay? Again, immediate antecedent. Okay? Now, on the other end, what was the consequence? What happened after the behavior? Father comes back. Okay. So help me now then. Let's be detectives. If that happened almost every time he walked away, what is the function? What's the purpose? Yep, exactly. Okay, so now the important part is how do we get Father's attention appropriately with her? You heard her talking and she just babbles in like little words. She just says like ba 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 ba. She doesn't have words yet. So how can she use good behavior to get the Father's attention? What's a good behavior that she can use to get attention?
На кој начин таа може да го привлече вниманието на својот татко без да користи предизвикувачка однесување, без да фрла. Некој начин на добро однесување. Што сме дали кој би била таа замена за ово однесување?
Hand it to her? A toy. Okay. Okay. But what can she do? What's the behavior that the girl can do? Yep, take his hand. Yep, take his hands, bring him to her. That can be diagnostic for autism, so we might want to be a little bit careful, but that's good. That's the first step, right? Rather than throwing the book, rather than throwing her materials and breaking everything, grabbing his hand and getting him to come down. Okay? Good. What
to have a special sound because the girl is not talking to that. So I guess they can have a word, maybe like
Yes.
a special sound. Maybe
Yes.
something like that.
Yeah, and then you might want to have it geared towards the sounds that come play or play. And we use sign language a lot in the United States. Do you have sign language in Macedonia? Okay. So, play. What's that? What's that? Oh, good. Okay. Great. So, work with your experts. Find a means of communication. One challenge with sign language, I'll add, is that not everybody knows what it means. And very few children in her case, she has motor problems associated with her whole syndrome. It might look like play and Lucy is play is this, right? Yes. I don't know sign language very well. But in a lot of these kids, they might just do something like this, and that means play for the child. And so not everyone in their environment is going to know that unless they're taught too. So you might want to have a situation where you teach that all the caretakers for the child. She does this, that means play. Okay? Or give a PEX card. Okay? So there's lots of means of teaching that communication to get dad to provide attention. Now the hard part becomes, how do we teach delaying that type of attention, because dad can't always come and deal with her. He comes in from work, he's tired, he has things to do, he might have people to call or dinner to make or something. And he can't always be diverted to her, okay? And so in the beginning, it is important to give her opportunities to get dad's attention. But then you might want to start a new intervention that builds a stimulus in the environment that indicates to her, right now I cannot play, but I will later. Okay, and what some people do, a long-standing intervention is to tie a string around the dad's arm, or around the wrist right here, like a little bracelet. And then you teach the child, every time he has this on, that means he cannot talk to you and cannot come right now. But when he's not wearing it, he'll come. Okay? And the important thing is when he's wearing that symbol or that signal to the child, that she does have opportunities to play with him later, so that she knows, okay, I don't get him right now, but I'll get him in 15 minutes or 20 minutes, whenever he's free. Does that make sense? And to deal with some of the other antecedents, to destroy some of that motivation for the bad behavior, you might also schedule playtime with the father and the daughter after, when he's available, at a regular time every day, where she has the opportunity to lead him through the play. Okay? Child-directed play is a very effective way of increasing parent attention and making it so I'm not always having to seek after dad's attention, because I know I'm going to get it every day. At least for this 15-minute block, I get everything I want with dad. 15 minutes may not sound like very much time, but if you watch parents sometimes, 15 minutes is a fairly extended play period. Okay? This is based on a therapy called parent-child interactive therapy, where you have this time where the child gets to lead and gets to play with mom or dad without having to be told what to do. And then the parent-directed time has some things built into it where the parents are telling the children what to do. But when you're doing that special time with the child, you don't work with them on it. Okay? So, as you've probably seen, and as in your own experience, you probably realize there are no magic instant cures for these challenging behaviors. Unfortunately, I wish I could lose my job. I wish I didn't have to teach this stuff, that there was a magic cure. But unfortunately, I do have to teach teachers about this year after year. We spend a whole year, 2 classes, teaching this exact stuff, and we have all these practical experiences where we train new teachers on this, because there's no magic way of reducing challenging behavior without identifying what it is in the environment that is reinforcing it. Okay, let's talk about some specific cases that you might be dealing with. So I want this to be interactive again, and feel like it will translate for me.
В момент сака да разговараме за конкретни случаи, некои кои што вие сте видели и знаете и сакате да разговарате за тоа, за да можеме заедно да дискутираме во однос на што и како би се дошло до решение.
Okay, and let's keep our discussion limited to what are the setting events, or what are the antecedents, what is the behavior, and what are the consequences. Okay, let's keep our discussion focused on what I've been talking about.
Дискусијата да се одвива кон тоа да се гледа не само околностите, причините на однесувањето, самото однесување кое ги се појави и последиците кои што доаѓаат од самото однесување. Што дете да добива кога покажува да примерите што беше агресивно однесување.
Does someone want to volunteer to share a behavior that they're working with right now?
Дали некој би сакал да волонтира и да каже некој тип на однесување кој што гледа дете да добива специјално каже или родители било кој што би сакал да сподели за да се увидат кои се односите причините и само однесување последиците.
Има. За македонски ќе Весна Костич Иванович, директор, наставник в последното основно училище Златна Стеница.
a member of MCC.
Били се 12 години там работам, а ова учебна година работам во одделение кој што е само со деца со ученици со аутизам. И овие предизвикувачки однесувања на кои што досега зборувавте се моја секојдневие. Како што и самата можете да видите, јас сум со рани ожици од секојдневните агресивни испади од моите ученици. И всушност имам повеќе прашање, за кои што би сакала да продискутирам, но бидејќи го насочивте ова да биде конкретно со конкретно однесување како приказни случаи, се да малку повеќе. Да. Да, така е. Значи, учениците во момент со 12 годишна возраст, влизани во пубертет, сите се од машки пол и едно од по-конкретните проблеми за кои што се соочувам секојдневно на дневна основа е нивната мастурбација, односно само стимулативното однесување, кое што за нив причинува големо задоволство.
Okay.
Знаеш?
So you're dealing with self-stimulatory behavior?
Да, само
Okay. All right. Very common, again, in children with developmental disabilities, boys in particular. Okay. So what? Let's maybe we will not name him, but let's think of one individual who challenged who has this challenge.
Okay, his name is Jovan.
Okay.
Jovan постојано и често голем дел од времето додека е во училницата мастурбира. Кога јас како наставник ќе го престанам со тоа однесување, понатака тој продолжува само агресивно да се однесува. Се гриза, гледа, удира и матања.
All right, so let's place the self-injury here in this case. Okay, let's talk about the self-injurious behavior here. And I'm going to talk about the self-stimulation as well. Okay, so let's talk about this in a chain. You guys can't write this. Okay, so it starts out, help me understand what is happening overall. Is this a normal classroom where students are just sitting there? What are the work demands placed on the children at the time?
Што се барате во времето кога започнува?
Разни активности, значи го следиме распоредот на часови и распорежението курикулума кој што е предвиден. Без оглед на активноста која сега е постала пред него, тој има некоја друга активност која е за него поинтересна во моментот.
Okay, to what extent does he understand the academic instruction?
На ниско функционално
He
ниво.
doesn't understand the academic instruction.
Не е вербален.
Okay.
И рецептивно, мислам, слабо е.
Okay.
Но до ниво на одреден наредби извршува, да.
Okay, so that's your setting event right there. He is receiving instruction that he doesn't understand. Okay? And so what's more exciting to him? Is it touching himself or is it the actual academic work that he should be doing? So he's now making a choice here. Okay? The hard thing is there's a strong biological component to this. But okay, let's think about this then. Okay, so the situation where the setting event is occurring is academic instruction that he doesn't understand. Okay? So then the antecedent, okay, that would be the antecedent. When provided instruction that is not appropriate to his needs, or when provided a direction that's not appropriate to him.
Кога тоа е учителот кога му даваш инструкции кои што не ги разбира и кои што не сака да прави, тоа ставува, а околностите и самите учители се тоа. Тоа што ти му подаваш инструкции кои што тој не ги разбира, тоа што не ги разбира, преминува кон самостимулација.
Okay? He engages in touching himself. Okay? And so that's the antecedent behavior. Then the consequence, then let's remind what the consequence is. So there's the biological component. It feels good to touch himself. And then there's also that's pretty much your function right there. But there's also the I'm not doing my work component either. There's also a slight escape there as well. And then when you tell him to stop touching himself in the chain, okay, let's talk about this now as a chain. Okay, going back to the setting events, he's enjoying what he's doing. Okay, you interrupt it. Okay, that's the antecedent. Okay, the behavior is hitting himself. Okay, or engaging himself in curious behavior. Okay, then what's the consequence of that?
Najčesto posled някакви изяви на само агресия, учител доаѓа, виќе јас имам ученици по одделението, че знае да го напушти да избега од одделението во часот. И во тој случај родителот го земе и го најчесто шета на зборот, односно тој сам да трча на зборот и потребно прилика е час до 2 сади, първо, за да се смири. И сега това понатака е веќе не сум надвор за да го обсервирам, но колеги или други родители или наши причен кадар на училиштето ми имаат кажано дека го смируваат со храна, вода и така. Други причини, што во моментот не могат да задоволат такива објекти фокусираат. Но ова е приказ на која што се книги, која што се врти на култура. Биве само еден од примерите, значи.
So it's predictable. We can predict that given this event is most likely to happen, followed by this consequence. Okay, so let's talk about how we deal with this now. Okay, so going back to the very first antecedent here, before he starts touching himself, what can we do about the instruction to get it at his level? Or something that occupies the part of his body that's touching himself. So if he's touching himself with his hands, let's get him doing something with his hands. Okay?
На негово ниво, на функционално ниво и кој што ќе окупираат неговите работи на маса, а не под маса.
Yes, exactly. So reinforce hands on the table. That's about that's the limit that you've got right there.
Но во моментот кога јас се прикувам моето внимание кон него, затоа што посветувам се еднакво и кон другите деца, сваќам дека тој дефинираната работа за која што ја предположила, да ја прави нешто друго.
So what are some other means that we can do to protect him?
Това е основният проблем. Аз немам во моментот поддршка, а немам во моментот подеднакво внимание кон сите, не е возможно да кажа. А и не е возможно да изгледаме секоја иницијатива од детето.
Okay. And that's the other component of this. All behaviors are happening in this context where it's very complex. It's not just limited to very simple antecedent behavior consequence all the time. So especially in classrooms where you have a mixed group of children, you have more things going on than you deal with. So other things that we can do, we can establish clear expectations in the classroom. And you can establish this with kids who are nonverbal. You teach and reteach and spend a lot of time making it an instructional objective that we teach appropriate behavior here. Okay, you can make appropriate behavior your instructional objective. Okay.
Твоите инструкции за работа, активност која што бараш у него може да биде тој да се однесува значи друго, да не мора да прави нешто, туку да биде самата активност од несување добро. И значи на тоа да се вежби да се одвои многу време од текот на денот само на тоа.
This is changing the environment, okay? We're going to teach this, make this part of what we do. This is what the child is at school to learn. He's not going to be a functional adult if he's not able to behave appropriately. Because behavior is one of the main reasons why children cannot be included in normal environments. Why parents won't take them out to the store, to a restaurant, because they'll behave inappropriately. So making it that your targeted instruction as well.
Било кој тоа исто, било која активност.
Okay?
А што ако не можеме да смениме стимулативната средина? Това е отлика на организацијата по која ще сработат. Не можеме да смениме коина. Тие четворица припаѓаат до тоа одделение. Ние не можеме да имаме индивидуален.
Okay, so you can find instructional materials, for example, in your instructional materials, in your objectives. You can find examples to use for the child, for the children, how it fits in the context of the instruction. Does that make some sense? But this is only one small piece. This is one small piece for dealing with the child who's called yoga. Okay? Then other things you can do to prevent the behavior from occurring if he's touching himself under his pants or over his pants. For instance, you can have a tight belt on him around his waist. Okay? Okay, good. I mean, that's one more step. Okay, one more level. But you can see though, there are things that are prompting this behavior. There's context for the behavior before we're even trying to stop it. Okay, that need to be modified to fit in. In particular, first and foremost, methods of instruction that will teach him to communicate. Okay, and then appropriate level of instruction that he will engage in that will decrease the likelihood that he'll even have the motivation to start touching himself. Okay, so that's dealing with that. And then the problem is once you're in that cycle, it's really hard not to lead towards hitting stuff and then running out of the classroom. Okay, so that's an example of an antecedent intervention you do. You're already doing a good part of it by having hands on desk. What you can do with the hands on desk too, that will even block the behavior from happening, is to reinforce hands on desk. Reward his hands being on the desk. Actually, that could be the instructional objective that you're doing in addition to the academic instruction, right? So while you're teaching academic skills, also say, and I like Johan, I like your hands on the desk, or if he uses a sticker or whatever, a piece of food, whatever, to reinforce his hands being on the desk. Okay? And that's the other thing. And you might also consider educating parents and getting on the same page as the parents and finding a behavior plan that approaches their values as well. Understand? Okay. So does anyone have any specific questions? What time is it? What's that? No, I can ask questions. Yeah. Questions at 12 o'clock. Yeah, this is the last slide. So if we want to do some other specific examples. Yeah. Absolutely. have explicit instruction, very clear instruction for children, you can make it, again, as in this other case, make an instructional objective to teach ignoring inappropriate behaviors. So when we see children doing bad behaviors, you keep your eyes on the teacher, you follow directions the first time, but you have a game for it. Maybe you even create like a game where they receive rewards for instance, following, ignoring inappropriate behavior. And you teach them how you need to do it. And you have to be very clear and provide steps. So when we ignore inappropriate behavior, we keep our eyes on the teacher. Okay, let's practice now. Let's practice keeping our eyes on the teacher, and you might role play and have one of the children behaving inappropriately, and you can get another teacher or, okay, let's practice keeping our eyes on the teacher. Good job, everyone. Nice eyes on the teacher. Okay? And then we keep a straight face. Can be your next step. While we keep our eyes on the teacher, we're not laughing about Jovan over there jumping up and down or making disruptive behavior. So you can make that an instructional objective. Again, though, what that's doing is destroying the motivation for the bad behavior. Because when that child is engaged in that bad behavior, the peer attention is almost more reinforcing than adult attention. Yeah. Does that help? Okay, good. Any other specific examples that we want to talk about? Okay, so if nobody has any other questions, specific examples, I'm free to answer any questions for the next half hour. If you have an individual question.
Finish the presentation. Много се благодаря на Американци. Сега дискусията наистина имахме прилика да чуем едно отлично предаване на философския факултет. Редки са случаите да дойде колега от университет, който ще ранкира на 301-то на 400 места на Шанхайската листа, като това е неговият университет. И дойде, се разбира, с трошоци, средства, които ще ги обезбеди той преко извои в САД. Така што тоа што повеќе ме радува, затоа што ето и пред неговото преводно време, главно и сакам да се заблагодарам на неговите колеги студенти и на моите колеги, Филип, мојата магистрант и Марија Кимачета, кои што си тој 4 дена наполно работеа заедно со родителите и на крај сега на родителите кои што се сега тука и кои што беа дел од проектот во изминативе неколку дена и ќе уште една фаза таа е во текот на месец мај. Така што сега е отворена расправа, дискусии, прашање доколку има слободно, да го искористиме да е тука е до 12, може да биде и порано, може и повеќе. Сето тоа ќе зависи од вас, колку ќе имате интерес да го прашувате. Значи, во предавањето не знам само психолозите, дали колешка и што никој не се психологија за Марија знам, не знам вие дали во учителните филозофи, што предпоставувам, мислам дека на некои предавања нема овој дел, покри која е хаса нашето место слушање. Сега поведете. Прашање, размисли, дискусии, доколку има. Нема. Тогаш, ќе го затвориме. Деспина.
What do we do when a child does not want to accept the thing that we are want to change? For example, if we